Whistle for Willie by Ezra Jacks Keats. Oh, how Peter wished he could whistle. He saw a boy playing with his dog. Woof, 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 woof. Whenever the boy whistled, the dog ran straight to him. Peter tried and tried to whistle, but he couldn't. So instead, he began to turn himself around. Around and around he whirled, faster and faster. When he stopped, everything turned down and up and down and around and around. Peter saw his dog Willie coming. Quick as a wink, he hid in an empty carton lying on the sidewalk. Wouldn't it be funny if I whistled? Peter thought. Willie would stop and look all around to see who it was. Peter tried to whistle, but still he couldn't. So Willie just walked on. Woof, woof. Peter got out of the carton and started home. On the way, he took some colored chalk out of his pocket and he drew a long line right up to his door. He stood there and tried to whistle again. He blew till his cheeks were tired. But nothing happened. He went into his house and put on his father's old hat to make himself feel more grown up. He looked in the mirror to practice whistling. Still no whistle. When his mother saw what he was doing, Peter pretended that he was his father. He said, "I've come home early today, dear. Is Peter here?" His mother answered, "Why, no, he's outside with Willie." "Well, I'll go out and look for them," said Peter. First, he walked along a crack in the sidewalk. Then he tried to run away from his shadow. He jumped off his shadow, but when he landed, they were together again. He came to the corner where the carton was, and who should he see but Willie? Woof, 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 woof. Peter scrambled under the carton. He blew and blew. Suddenly, out came a real whistle. Willie stopped and looked around to see who it was. Woof, 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 woof. "It's me!" Peter shouted and stood up. Willie raced straight to him. Woof, 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 woof. Peter ran home to show his father and his mother what he could do. They loved Peter's whistling, and so did Willie. Woof, 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 woof. Peter's mother asked him and Willie, woof, woof, to go on an errand to the grocery store. He whistled all the way there. And he whistled all the way home. Well, friends, I hope that you enjoyed this book by one of my favorite authors, Ezra Jacks Keats, called Whistle for Willie. It was an awesome story that's talked about whistling, but it also talked about shadows. And we get to learn about shadows and reflections. And I wonder, why do we see shadows? What happened in this story with Peter that let us see his shadow. We also learned some really neat words. We learned about a shadow and a sidewalk, wall. We saw between and dark and light. There were a lot of words that we got to learn. We also saw some amazing words like entertain and errand and practice and pretend and whirl and whistle. Guys, I wonder if we could go make a really neat shadow outside, and we could also practice whistling like Peter did. I cannot wait to see what our next story is going to be about. I bet it's going to have something to do with shadows and reflections. Can't wait to read it. Y'all come back. Love, Miss Shelley.